Awesome. Wow. What's going on with the stock market right now? Crazy things is happening right now. You can see things are reaching all-time high. So learning how to invest and trade is really important. And every single week, we've been telling you what to buy and what to sell every week as well. And yeah, and we're gonna go through some of them kind of later on. And that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna talk about what's happening to the stock market right now. Should we buy now? Should we sell now? We have actually reached a new stage of a season of a market. Yeah, you will see that later on. Basically, in the past 3 weeks, we have entered earnings seasons. Okay, this week is probably the very last week for an earnings season. So when we go to the last part of our session, we were going through earning guidance one by one, just trying to see companies releasing their earnings. We do that usually during earnings seasons every single week, just trying to see which companies releases their earning reports. Okay. By doing that, by studying some companies, you can make a lot of money from it. I will show you some of the examples that we found. And so that's what happened. And we're going to talk about what's going on right now. And we're also going to talk about what stock we can buy and sell at the end of the session. I also look back into things that we have done in the past. Today's session is going to be quite chill just because we have entered a new season. So a really, really nice time to make some great income during this season. But if you have any stock you want us to look at, let us know. All right. You can type in the chat box, type host to panelists. If you are shy, you can send your questions, but there's no shy or no shy here. Yeah. We're here to learn. And yeah, so let's get straight into it right now. Now, before I start, what I also want to talk about, do you remember we talked about last week as well? We were asking you to find companies with the greatest increase in their earnings, okay? Greatest increase in their guidance this quarter compared to the previous quarter, yeah? That's where the money is, all right? But anyway, let's get straight into it right now so you're completely clear what we're on about. Now, I'm going to start now requesting to bypass. Let me have a look. Let me see if I can share my screen. Are you guys able to see my screen? Because I just did an update on my computer. You probably can see my screen. Yeah, awesome. Good. Thanks, Neil. Muhammad. Awesome. Now let's get straight into it right now. Now, before we start, I just want to go about, talking to you about this for a very long time. You can see the decision of you to wanting to build wealth via the stock market is a beautiful thing. Yeah, thanks, Inga. It's a beautiful thing. So you can see no matter what happened to the economy, we have World War One, World War Two, World War Three. Usually, the overall stock markets usually went up after a while. Okay. So sometimes you might see a crash and stuff like that. So if you have the portfolio right now that is in red, for example, 1%, 2%, whatever, 10% red, if you've been using the strategy that we taught, it's been really nice. We approve that the earning guidance of your strategy of your stocks is going higher and higher. Eventually, a lot of the stocks that you are red, it's gonna make back the money, especially if you just bought recently. Yeah, that means in the very short term. That means short term means in 1 second, in one day, even in the few hours. Sometimes it can go down a little bit, but just to let you know, eventually things is gonna go really, really beautifully. Yeah. So well done for making the decisions that you want to get good at this skill set. Yeah, every day people are losing their jobs. So learning this skill set, helping your people that you care about is just an incredible thing. So well done and congratulations of you guys to make that decision. Now, I'm gonna go through let's do some analysis of what's going on right now. Okay. So last Tuesday, that's where we will have our session. We were just around here. So the stock market has literally not moved for the past 5 days. And that's how the stock market did, okay? Not usually, the stock market hasn't moved for the past 5 days. So a lot of the stocks that we recommended, they're probably not going to move because, They're probably not going to move. The stock market that we've been recommended for the past 5 days, they are probably not going to move because the stock market itself hasn't been moving a lot. Okay? Hasn't been moving a lot. Let me have a look. Let me share back my screen. Hasn't been moving a lot. The stock market itself. Now, what I'm going to do, I just want to make sure you can see both together. Oops. I think you can still see my screen, isn't it? Because let me see what have I done. Just give me a minute. I press a button and it's gone. Cool. Now let's do that. Awesome. Let's do that. Okay, we are back a little bit. I'm just trying to make this bigger. How do I make this bigger? Auto frame, height, change. That's fine. Should I make that bigger? Hard. Anyway, so that's what happened. Okay, the past 5 days it hasn't moved a lot, but we recommended some trades from last week. Let's see what we've gone through. So this was just last week. We talk about the small wins as well. Asking to get into EQGB. Let's see what EQGB is doing. Let's see. Yep, there's EQGBs as well. So things are all-time high, but we're going to recommend some stocks at the ends as well. So yeah, you can see we were here. It was just last week. So it was probably very similar to where we were before, right? Very similar to where we were before. So what kind of stocks is really going to go high up big time? It's going to be the stocks that, we talk about, we recommend some time ago. So let's have a look, continue. So we talk about shorting this guy, Nervia. It's not finding his footing. This is yet last week. We're just going through again, so you know what happened. Berndorf expect a revenue decline and profit decline. Okay, and you want to make sure the decline is due to what happened. You want to make sure the decline is due to lower demand. All right, and this is actually what happened then. And yeah, because of that, we shorted that. We want more customers to buy our products that reposition success. Yeah. So let's have a look. Berndorf, anyone has attempted this stock? So this was shorting, okay? It says short here. This is last week. We did last week. We're going to send you the recording if you missed it. So that's kind of for Berndorf. So last week when we recommended, it was kind of, let's look, it was around there. Okay, it was kind of reaching a little bit of the resistance line there. And yeah, we were here. So this is kind of like Tuesday. Obviously, the market is close to Wednesday. So it's been going down like that nicely, like that nicely, like that, like that. So you're making money where the price comes down, which it did. So how do we know it's going to come down? We don't know whether it's going to come down or not, but it did because of the companies are expecting a revenue decline. So they are expecting not making as much money. And that's literally what happened. Okay. So there is a revenue decline and a lower profit after a drop. So this is one of the consumer goods. All right. So if you read it carefully, you will see that it's a lot about their money. Okay. It's a lot about demand going down. Okay. When companies demand going down or revenue and stuff like that going down, usually the stock prices go down as well. We talk about it many times. Yeah. Just write that down. Whether you are going to make money in the stock market or not, it's really depending whether the company itself, whether they are doing well or not. All right. The revenue, okay, the margin, especially both of them. So, yep. So this is revenue and this is profit. What about the margin? Yeah, the profit margin is expected at least. Yeah, even the profit margin was also going down. It used to be 14 and 11. So shorting that is quite an easy decision. Yeah. The next one is RB. RB was lower their full year guidance, but only for the reason because they're expecting a dilution from a planned acquisition. So they were making less money, not because they have less client, but because they are acquiring, they're spending money to acquire stuff, which is an okay thing to do. Yeah. So that's not too bad. What else have we done? We've even the week before, we've got LVMH, Netflix, IGUS. This is 28th of July. Let's have a look. LVMH. Anyone owns LVMH? Yeah, we talked about it last when is that? Let's have a look. Just 2 weeks ago, 28th of July. So let's have a look. So LVMH at that time was just 28th of July when we talk about watches here. So it went up to our resistance line, which is just around there. All right. So what I would say, eventually LVMH is gonna go all the way here. Okay. If you check the season of LVMH, usually during Christmas time and stuff like that, people usually will buy a little bit more and they will usually do well during shopping season. But let's have a look. Our step 2, we go to see what's happening there. So August time, we're just attending the August, so you will see a bit down. So August, September, these 2 months is a little down, or you can see October, November, December when it's shopping time, it tends to go up. It tends to go up really nicely. Yeah, this is our step 2 strategy, using the season just to see how things looks like. Okay, so if you are in profit, you can trim your profit, you close your profit down and get in again when it comes to 45. If you haven't, just wait for it. We're gonna get profit very soon as well. Okay. And we also got into what? Let's have a look. This is all some time ago. Netflix. We'll talk about what to buy later on at the end of the session. I just want to go through things a little bit to see what we did right, what we did wrong a few weeks ago and stuff. So Netflix, we also talk about buying a little bit of Netflix because let's see. I think the PE ratio of Netflix was quite low. Let's look again. Historical PE ratio of Netflix. And we also want to look at when does the Netflix tend to do well and tend not to do well. Let's have a look. I'm going to type Netflix on here. Lots of students probably own it. If you haven't, that's absolutely fine because we're actually just entering another stage of economy right now. I want to show you that stage right now later on. So yeah, Netflix is selling at a very historical low PE. Let's have a look what's the PE they're selling right now for Netflix. So we can have a look. Yeah, it's around 20. Okay, it's not, yeah, 20 is okay. Yeah, it's one of the lowest that we kind of got. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's what happened then. So people will be like, oh, when can I take profit out from Netflix? So let's look at our season a little bit. So you see for Netflix for August, they usually kind of like okay first week, third week. So like that was kind of okay. Yeah, it's kind of okay. Not a big deal. All right. So for that one, you kind of can hold. Cool. Now that is kind of what happened then. What else do we kind of have? I think the rest was quite nice. Yep. So I want to say something because we're entering a new stage of kind of like the economy. Let me just show you. Let me look at the feel and greed for a second. We're gonna go to our step by step now. So I'm gonna click this here. It's just on my website. So if you just click on here and click on all of that, we're just going to click on all of that, just trying to see the whole analysis of the market. Is it going to go down right now? Is it going to go up right now or whatever that is, all right? So in terms of the fear and greed side, we are on the stage of greed, okay? Usually we wouldn't buy anything in extreme greed and greed stage. Usually there's not a time to buy anything, but we still kind of see what we can buy. So, but when we are buying, we just don't expect to make profit like kind of like, straight away unless the stock are really incredible. Okay, I will show you some of the stock we talked about last week that is really, really, not last week, a few weeks ago, that's really beautiful. Now, so we are on greed stage, so that is quite fine. You kind of already know when's the best time to buy, when's the best time to sell. If people ask me when's the best time to sell some of the stocks that you've got, that is very tricky. It's actually near the extreme greed stage. Okay, if you have some stocks that is being a lot of our students own stocks that's up 300%, 200%, even 100%. There's you kind of trim those positions during extreme greed time or when you see a volume crazy spike. Or if you don't sell it, that's fine as well. If you have the stomach to turn. Cool. So let's have a look. So the rest looks okay. So there's a fear and greed. We will be going, let's have a look. So let's look at open insiders to see if any insiders are buying and selling at the moment. This is an AAIM report. They changed the format here. When it comes to the bottom, it will be a really nice time here, just at around 60. The morning star is still kind of undervalued by 5.7. If it is below -10, we will be buying them a lot. Okay. The last time it happened is around April, March time. Now it's around 38, August 5th. So that means people are not very why don't you type in the chat box and tell me the date here where 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 the date that is, let's have a look. Why don't you tell me the date that is the best time to buy stocks? Yeah. Based on the date here, give me the date. Just type in the chat box and tell me what's the date to buy stocks, okay? Based on the date here. Yeah, try your best. It's gonna be a bit tricky. I know we've got lots of students who were new. So just look for the hint here. So this is a sentimental analysis where it really measures the normal people, the retail people, the individual investor, whether they are very bullish or bearish or not. So the way we use it is we just look at the bearish part. We want to go against them. So the best time to buy is usually when this is super bearish. So you just have to give me a date that is super bearish. It can be any dates that you want. Okay. That is super bearish. Yeah. That means it's one of the highest. Okay. Everyone is shorting, thinking market is going to crash. That's where we want to be very scared. So the date that we've got for that, let me look at your chat box. Cool. A lot of people giving the March and all of that. That's very, very good. So yeah, if you say March, let's see whether it's right or not. So a lot of people give me March, which is just 18, is now 52. That's acceptable. Even 51 is acceptable as well. So there's a time where you want to go all in and kind of like buy your, buy your babies, your apprenticeship stocks, really powerful stocks. So that's 18 and 1st of April. Yeah. So you can see if you bought any stocks at the time. Yeah, things will look very, very good for you. So let's have a look. So that's just in March time. Yeah, March was just here. That's when we just have the Iran war. It was just, you can see at the bottom here, it says March. Yeah, that's just the Iran war. This was a really good time to buy. So it went up really nicely. Yeah. So if you be a bit pedantic a little bit, if you be a bit particular, if you see carefully, 52 is very high. And the last time we got as high as that is usually just around 42.3. So 1st of July, a little bit. That was okay. Actually, okay, that's the highest. Okay. If I'm gonna look at okay, so the one that is the second highest and things like that would just be a little bit of July 29, July 22. This is 42.3. It's not 40, 50. You want to be 50, that would be really nice. So let me just be very clear with you. So you can see 50. 50 means the highest people are bearish the market. So you'll be buying there. This time you will be buying there. Okay. So 50 is good. So if we see 50, we're going to go all in, when it comes there. But let's talk about the time when it's not 50. Okay. The second highest and it's really bearish would just be around 47. So the reality is, even if you buy stocks in June 10, it's also really nice. Okay. The June 10, when it's quite high. And the past 2 months' time, the one that's okayly high will just be around, just be around there. Okay. That was quite an okayly high. Not very high, but okayly high. What about the time to short the market? Okay. Remember, we don't like to short the market. We don't like to sell the market. It's not the easiest. It's not a guaranteed way to make money, and it's not the easiest way to make money. Buying is a lot easier. But let's say we are very careful. You want to take your profit out. You think the market is going to crash. You will see that the markets usually crash when we are least bearish. Okay. So why don't you give me a date where people are the least bearish here? The least bearish here. That means everyone think market is going to go up big time. Okay. Everyone is buying stocks. Give me the date there. Down the chat box. Yeah. So let's have a look. Well done. So let's see. We've got yeah, Lottie, well done. Natalie, Joe, Neil, really good. Mostar, Alistair, Elbridge, Carlo, Elvi, nice. Ernie, very good, Ernie. You got it right. Bruno, Kim, very nice. We have Hajinder, Neil, Adinka, Al, Kyo, Mash, awesome. So you can see the reach. Oops, not entirely sure. So you can see the date that is, the least bearish was actually around 32.9, which is July 15. All right. That was probably the time where people are very, very positive in the market. Okay. Very positive. Even here was one of the highest, 44.9. We don't usually look at that. We only look at this usually. Okay. Don't get distracted. All right. So 32.9 is one of the lowest. So that is usually where a correction can happen. All right. So you can see 15th of July, if you look at it, 15th of July with the stock market. So you can see stock market, the whole technology or any stocks has been going up really beautifully. Since then, it's been going beautifully. But when we reach 15th of July, where is that? Let's look. Yeah, we're just here. Can you see it's almost at all-time high there? When we reach 15th of July, which is near the resistance line, which is where some volume was, yeah, near resistance line there, there's some correction kind of happening in July, okay? The market actually went down 10% for Nasdaq, okay? 10%. SP 500 also went down in 15th of July. Actually, most of the stock market went down in 15th of July. So that is when no one is shorting the market. Okay, everyone was very, very positive about the market. Okay, so if you are thinking about right now whether the market is going to go up or down, we just do the same strategy. Okay, we talk about this for past 10, 15 years. People make a lot of money. So let's have a look. Where am I? So let's go back to the page. So you can see what we've got here. This is where we so we were just talking about 15th of July, 32.9, all right? So recently, very recently, we got August 5th, all right? That is on the 38%. These usually come out every 14 days, I think. Let me see, every 7 days. So 1 plus 8, 5 plus 7, 12. So tomorrow you will see the numbers again, okay? You will see the numbers again. So if tomorrow, when you see the numbers of this website, which is on my website, just on page 1, if you see that we get even lower than this, okay, even lower than 38, which is near 32.9 tomorrow, then you'll be like, oh, wow, market actually might correct itself, okay? Market might actually come down. If it is less than 38, even if it is close than 32, if it is even lower than 32.9, then it really was going to come down. All right. So let me just make it very clear there. Okay. So you'll be like, what day is today? 11th of August. So tomorrow, let's say 12th of August, you check this website, you will be like, okay, let's see whether AAIA report, sentiment report on my website, whether it's, go to my website, UK type home, and then you'll be like, okay, the step 1 there, the AAII, and then you'll be like, oh, is it lower than, 38. If it is lower, then maybe a correction is more likely going to happen. So when the correction is more likely going to happen, if you have some positive stocks that's making some money, taking a little bit of your profits it's not the worst situation. But if you want to take your profit, that's fine. You're going to make even more money. I want to tell you the biggest mistake. You might want to write it down if you've been with me for a long time. The biggest mistake people make, okay, from trading and investing is that they sell too soon. They sell too soon, okay? I will tell you that Warren Buffett, I interview a lot of top traders. The biggest mistake is we sell too soon. Look, last week we were talking about small wins. If you don't sell any of your stocks from last week, you're still going to make money. If you still hold Microsoft, you're going to make money, more money today. And if you still hold, let's say, Palantir, you're going to make even more money today because Palantir has gone even higher. This is all last week. VUAG, IGUS, Lockheed Martin, Microsoft, if you still hold it out, you're still going to make even more money today. What else? AEHR. Okay, we talk about AEHR. If you hold that, wow, do you make even more money? We talk about AEHR for quite some time. If you remember, let's have a look on the 3 weeks ago, we're going through, the same strategy, well, step by step, alongside our apprentices. We ask our apprentices to just buy AEHR. Okay, if you remember, we're going through half an hour, actually 1 hour, I think. I've never spent so much time to go to one stock in public like that with so many people, but because some people lose, concentration is going to be gone. So we spent a lot of time, 3 weeks ago to talk about AEHR. Is actually one of the best stock right now, literally in the world, that the guidance is increasing big time. Okay. If you found any stocks that guidance increase as much as this, you let me know. But it's very rare you will find this. Okay. The guidance of this stock went up, I think 100 to 200%. Micron went up only 50% right now, quarter to quarter. Okay. SanDisk also they are all slowing down a little bit in terms of their guidance. If you read their guidance carefully, you will see that they're slowing it down. All right. They're slowing it down. Some companies are increasing, but nothing is like this. Nothing increases as much as this. Let me show you the number. Yeah, I think that's the number. So we were here around 72, asking people to buy.
Based on entirely hope for future orders. So it's just orders. AI processor could create a multi-year testing cycle. Strong.
So this is going to be one of your baby stocks for our apprentices. You remember we have a baby financial freedom checklist. So let me have a look here. I just want to see the numbers. So yeah, AEHR system, the biggest customer. So if you see the numbers, let me see the number. Let me see the numbers. Yeah, we studied the numbers. Let me zoom it in so you can see it. You can see that the 14th of July, when we go through this stock, 7th of April to 14th of July, it almost doubled, 10 to 18. Okay, almost double. So that is quite huge. All right, that's quite huge. Yeah, we don't really have companies like that. Margin was also increasing big time. I don't think so. You will find any companies that's increased as big as this. If you found it, let me know. All right. Lumentum is going to release their earnings today, later on. So we will have a look on that. But Lumentum kind of slowed down already. If you look at Lumentum previous guidance, they are slowing it down. What do you mean by slowing it down? So it's like a baby. When it first grow, it grow big time, and then it stays stagnant. Nvidia right now is kind of like, a lot of stock is kind of like on this, a little bit of this stage at the moment. Okay, a little bit of this stage. The best money making is around here. Okay, and AEHR, if you look at it carefully, the number, 14, 11, 9, 10, 18. So AEHR is just one of these company that is just born as a baby. Why? Because look, it used to be losing money, 13, 13, 18, 14, 11, 9, and then 10. So it used to break even, losing money, break even, and then suddenly just like that. So AEHR is one of these systems that is still like a baby. Yeah. So you can see we recommend 3 weeks ago, and let's see what happened today. AEHR. Even though market was crashing big time, okay, this guy went up another 9% kind of today. Let's have a look. And when we recommended it was around here. There's a bit of stomach you have to withstand. When we recommend here, it went up big time, 30% straight away. And then it went all the way down to 30%, okay, to our break-even point, almost negative. And people are very big stomach, very, very, apprentices understand our strategy. So you just continue to hold today, hold you today. Who makes some profit on AEHR system? Type in the chat box if you make some profit. If you haven't, that's fine. We're going to give you another one. But if you make some profit on AEHR system, type profit a little bit. Okay, if you make some profit, so I can continue to find companies like that, that's going to make you a lot of money. Okay, so type in the chat box if you make some money. If you remember, we talked about this 3 weeks ago. You make some money on this, type in the chat box real quick. And how many percent of money? You almost double your money, literally. Look, it literally went from 7 to around 12. 7 to 12 is almost 80% in 1 to 2 months' time. That's crazy. Okay, most people, they make 10%, they make 5% on their savings, on their inflation, pension give you 1%, 2%. So let's have a look. Yeah. So Tio was making some money, Kiza was making some money, saying profits as well. What's the percentage of the profit though? May I know the percentage? Just trying to understand. Is it 10%? Is it 20%? Barry was making 40%. Congratulations. We have Christian making profit, Eshawn making profit. Barry was also making some profit. And what else? Let's have a look. Let me have a look. We've got Mickey making 48%. Well done. I sold too soon. I bought in March. Part of the learning journey. I'm on 48%. Well done. We go, yeah. So a lot of students are on profit. So really, really, Cecilia 57% profit. Congratulations. Most people, their lifetime, they will never make a stock with 57% profit. Yeah. So well done on that. So, is it too late to get in now? Now, we don't just talk about when to get in though. We also talk about when to get out, okay? And the rest of the session, we also talk about when to get out, okay? We use the PE ratio strategy. We literally spend an hour talking about this. Some people will be like, why you spend an hour talk about one stock? That's what happened. This is why we talk about an hour. Let me have a look. So why do we spend an hour to talk about this stock? So you can see revenue growth, whatever that is, 20%. So we calculate the target profit. Okay, for those who are new, let me show you how to calculate target profit. To calculate how, let's say you buy a stock already, you want to know where is it gonna go, isn't it? Okay, let me tell you why we buy that stock. For those who are new, this is on the week 4 training. We bought that stock because the guidance was increasing big time. They are telling us that they are doubling their revenue. Not many companies in the world, especially big companies in the world, 100% their revenue increase, EPS increase, no. Apple, the best companies in the world, maximum, they give you 15% increase in their profit year to year. Google, really good companies, 20% profit. Meta, very good company, 20% profit. Tesla, negative. Tesla was negative. Okay, Tesla wasn't making any profit. Because they're trying to build robots and they are shutting down their vehicle, their vehicle company. Who else? I just to bring you a better business owners. I'll just tell you what kind of business, to make you a better investor. I'm just going to give you an average of how much growth a lot of these companies is. Micron used to be 100% profit. The latest earning is only around 50. SanDisk used to be 100% profit. The latest earnings around 70, 80. And okay, actually, because it's quarter to quarter, Micron are still 5 times 4, 200%. So Micron is a bit exceptional. So let me just give you some normal companies that you know. Let's say talk about Netflix, for example. Netflix is only 10% year over year. Last year, 1 million. The year after, 1 million and 100. Okay, 10% increase. So very rare you will see companies 100%. So that's the reason why we buy. So when do we sell? We sell using our PE ratio strategy. We use the price divided by earning strategy. So what does that mean? So you want to know when to sell this, isn't it? You want to know when to the price, okay? Price divided by ratio. You want to know when to sell. So you want to know where is the earnings gonna go. So because I make it very easy, very normal. I say that the revenue growth is gonna be. Let's have a look. We talked about this before. I want to show you one more time.
But I want to tell you something, guys.
Let's have a
It's
look.
backlog. So I want to tell you something. It's really good because you bought.
So let's see. Let's see how do we calculate.
So
Okay, yeah, we got it. So at that time, when the earnings release, which is 7th of July, 17th of July, which is just a few weeks ago, and it was just around 7, all right? The price was around 7. So because they say that they're gonna double their money, okay, where is it? Was just around here. Okay. Because they say that we're gonna double their money, okay? Because if you read the earning one more time, let me show you the earnings. Don't worry if you don't get it. We're gonna sit down together on the apprenticeship to talk about it properly again. But I'm gonna show you the numbers first. Where's the number? Show you the number. Yep, that's the number. Okay, cool. Can you see again from 10 to 18? So there's quarterly doubling, almost double. 10 to 18 is almost like doubling. So what I did at that time, because the price was at 7, so I thought that it's going to be double. So your price target is 14 because 7 times 2 is 14. So this is what 200. So at the time the price was 7 times 2, so it will still go all the way up to 14. But does that mean that it's going to go up like a rocket? No. It's going to go up one day, come down another day, go up one day, come down another day, up and down, up and down, up and down. That's what stock market is all about. Remember, today green, tomorrow red. Tomorrow red, the day after tomorrow is going to be green. That's what stock market is all about. Yeah. Like breathe in and breathe out, like how you breathe in and how you breathe out. So that's what happened. So if you are late, can I buy now? Wow, we will tell you kind of later on. I want to show you our strategy first. But you can mark it down. The really nice time to buy is just below 8. Okay, just at the volume spike. So if it comes back around 8, you can add even more, or you can buy even more then. All right. And so that's what happened. But anyway, what I want to do, I want to show you what's going to happen from today onwards. All right. What's the stock market going to do? So you're going to know it by going through our strategies as well. I've never seen a person who will give you such a powerful strategy. Let's have a look. So we talked about it last week. I want to touch it again one more time. So you see, this is how our season look like. Okay. So July, the beginning is very happy, which we saw. The end of July was very sad. We saw that. Okay. We saw that. So now it's August. The first week of August, very happy. It went up big time. That's literally what we saw. Well, now we are almost reaching the middle of August now, where we have another kind of correction kind of going on then. Okay. We're reaching the middle of August, another correction kind of going on then. So this is what happened. So a lot of the stocks that you can see a little bit less and less profit a little bit. And yeah, that means stock might have a correction. So those who are new, it's one of the best time ever to make money, okay? To make life-changing money when the market crash. You don't make money when the market goes up. Well, you make a little bit, but you make big money when the market crash down, which is we are entering the stage now. And when we finish the earnings season this week, wow, there's nothing to look forward anymore. Usually things comes down a little bit, okay? But I will show you. But it depends on how the earnings season done. Or the last company is going to release its momentum today. I mean, there's quite a few companies. But what I want to show you, I want to show you something just real quick. Yeah, I want to show you this. Okay. So this is usually for apprentices, a little bit more detail. So you see it carefully here. So we got this beautifully happening in March. It did went down in March, April came back up. And then in July, we have a turbulent here. And then it did do really well. And we say that we're going to reach all-time high. This is just in August time. So we kind of reached there as well, reaching all-time high. So we are almost reaching this level right here. Okay, August time we are reaching this level. So we are entering another stage of the economy, and this is kind of what it is a little bit there. All right. Does it mean that we're gonna be scared? Does it mean we're gonna sell our shit? No. Okay. We're gonna stay course. We want to remember the biggest mistake people make is they sell their stock too soon. Okay. So we're just gonna know this by by letting us by preparing, by mentally prepare. All right. So that's what's gonna happen. But eventually it's gonna go all the way high up, big time again. Okay. It's gonna make even more money than anyone else. The more you crash, the more money you're gonna make. Okay, later on. So that's kind of what happened. The next stage of our beautiful what is it? Economy at the moment. Yeah. Just to plant a seed in you so you kind of get ready. So if you miss out, you didn't do nothing. So chances are here for you very soon. Okay. So especially for apprentices. Now, what I'm going to do, I am going to go back and see what's going on here. Just give me a minute. Okay.
No, nothing. 25, 45,
What happened?
130. So it's times
Okay,
3.
so that is kind of what happened then. All right. Now what I'm gonna do, I am gonna talk about what is happening, what's going on right now. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so we kind of talked to you about it before. Now I'm gonna just try sharing my screen. Just give me a minute here. The second brochure will be good to you. Okay, so that means that even though you have really some beautiful stocks that you want to buy, you kind of want to wait for it to come back here. So let me see. Let me share my screen one more time because it came all the way out already. Awesome. So well done. Now what I'm gonna do, I want to talk about some. Let's talk about some earnings right now. All right. Let's talk about some earnings. We go to market screener. Okay. Go to market screener real quick. I want to look at open insiders as well. Just give me a minute. I'm just gonna open the open insider real quick so you kind of see what is happening here. All right, now let's have a look. Okay. Now we're gonna go to the calendar right now, okay? The news. Okay, people ask me, how do we find those company AEHR? It is really by random. It's really because we go through this market screener very vigorously. All right, very vigorously. So we are just finding companies that increase their earnings by more than 100%. So your homework, or if you want to make a lot of money, you just have to find those companies that increase their earnings by more than 100%. Okay, that's what happened. Now let's have a look here. What I'm gonna do now, I am going to find companies right now that's gonna make us a lot of money. So I go to all news. And then when we go to all news, we go on to topics. People still don't know how to do this. I'm showing you now, and people still going to ask me how to do it. I'm going to do equity, which is very good. Corporate finances. We look at the guidance decreases first. Why? Just for fun, really. Just trying to see what's going on, the whole overall market. We're going to open as many as we can. So let's have a look. OPI share, tactile. Usually we just open all of them. Okay. That's usually what we do. Just open as many as possible. So we use a bottom down analysis. We find one stock. Okay. And then we talk about how is that stock going to affect the whole economy. Okay. So that's what's going to happen. If everything looks very good, that means that, the economy is going to look very good. So let's have a look. Vertical RA, Under Armour, Oxford, Ivy Vertical, last update the earning guidance. So there's not a lot, okay? Not a lot. I think a lot of them raise their guidance instead. A lot of these companies raise their earning guidance instead. Orion, Papa, Peloton, Visa Payment, Daikyo. For those baby stocks that you already found, I saw someone ask when is the best time to buy AEH. Let's have a look. You can use calculator. For the elite students, you should have the calculator. Just put on that calculator on. Let's see. Uploading. We're just gonna open as many as possible. This is the part of the training where it gets a bit like, it gets a bit like, ooh, a bit not so, not too fun, but it could be fun if you found something that you understand or something that you like, or you found something that increases big time. That is really fun. And those who are good in AI can help you as well. Cool. So the first one, we got Hims and Hers. Hims and Hers released their earnings yesterday. Okay. And let's have a look. Okay, it doesn't really give us a number. When Hims and Hers come to support line, it could be a nice thing to do. Upwork, let's have a look. Companies expect previously 1.5, now 1.3. Wow, we could short this. 760 to 730. Usually we would have short this just like that. Okay, let's see if this is at the support line already. I'm going to Upwork. Let's have a look. Upwork. Cool. Is it at all-time high? Okay, it's at all-time low already. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. If it is higher, I would have shorted that. Okay, because it's at the lowest point that you've ever seen in history. So that's pretty tricky. Okay, but this is a really good short as well. This is a good short because both the revenue and EPS was going down by quite a bit. New Skin, which is to do with the skin, previously was 0.8, now 0.7, 1.35, now 1.28. Also went down, but it looks like it's also at the support line. 13 and 13.8 could potentially short this. Monday, we want to make sure the companies went down because the earnings went down, okay? Because of the demand went down, okay? This part of the session, we're going to talk about what stock to short because obviously you can look at the season, you look at the market is going to come down a little bit. Last week, we talked about shorting some. Some people are still shorting Tower, if you remember. Some people are still shorting Tower. Anyone make profit on Tower? So we talk about Tower when it was at, let's have a look. Where are we? Tower. A, B, C, D, E, F. Yep, here. Okay. We talk about shorting Tower on 28th of July together when we recommend LVMH and all of that. Revised the earnings because it went from 2.37 to 2.3, went down a little bit, and because it's an all-time high, this is 3.24, 3.11. So both of the month numbers went down, okay? And because it's an all-time high, and we were very brave, we will be like 27th of July is when it went up, spike up like that. We were very brave and literally just say, it was going up like that, it's been going up big time, this stock. And so brave to be like, okay, let's short this guy. So that's what we did, it's been coming down like that as well. Okay. It's been coming down like that as well. Cool. So I think Oren was on this. So people often ask me, when do you take the profit and all of that? You usually check the season. Let's check the season for this. Yeah, you check the seasonality a little bit. That's the best way to know when the stock you can come out with, because sometimes you own it, you don't know when to get out. So you just go on our strategy, type well tower, step 2, if you remember. Yeah, this is our step 2. So according to them, so look, zoom in a little bit. So according to them, you can see, yeah, just August time. So it continues to go down all the way, probably till then. Okay. There probably another one in October, but yeah, till then. If you ask me, I would say when it touches this line, okay, draw a resistance support line, yeah, here. 221, you call it the day, okay? And you just trail your stop down like that, okay? But anyway, let's continue to find to see what's going on. That we only go through that kind of crazy things, trailing our stop, dragging things down, looking at seasonality when we are shorting, because shorting you kind of use a little bit of leverage. But usually when you buy things like that, you don't really care, okay? Eventually all going to be green. So let's look at Monday.com. This is a software companies. So Monday.com was guiding 230 down from 185 previously expected. So the language is a little wrong here. Okay, because it's actually went up in terms of the language. But that's okay. Planet faces. At the end of the session, we're going to talk about what to buy. We're going to talk about what to sell as well. Planet faces lowered, left full year revenue unchanged. So if it is unchanged, we don't look at it because we want something that went down or went up. Under Armour, okay, this is very similar to like Nike, Lululemon, all of that. Let's have a look. Revise, expect to decline, revenue to decline, okay? So makes it compared to slight decline. So this is huge decline now. The revised outlook demand by the update incorporate mid-single digit decline. Operating income still expected to be in the range of 96 to 116. Net loss expected to be 0.01 versus period expectation of 0.04. Okay. You will usually short this like that, but it's quite low. You look at the graph. Oxford Biomedical. So the guidance was 220. Now it's only 180. So we're probably going to be brave and short this guy. The stock fell to its lowest. Core margin is expected to be the mid-single digit percentage. Cut their revenue forecast. Okay, this is what Oxford Biomedical. Let's see if we can find this guy. Okay, so still a layer room to kind of go. So what we normally do, yeah, just a little bit more advanced for you. You want to see how much money is this right now, how much revenue. Let's say if they make 1 billion of revenue, you want to make sure if you think it's going to go down here, you want to make sure the last time they've got is like 3 billion. Because if you only make 1 billion and last time you have 3 billion, obviously you're going to go down the roof. Okay? Because 1 billion, you have to be lower than 3 billion. So the price should be lower. So it will go down even more. However, if the last time it was 3 billion, now it's around 6 billion. So even though it's lesser than what happened before, but you will expect the stock to be like going higher and higher here. So I'm just teaching you how to look at the positions of the stock, okay, the price, according to their revenue, okay? So just to make it clear with you. So what you can do, I'm just going to do one for you. Oxford Biomedical PLC. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to type, give me the past 8 most recent earning guidance of Oxford Biomedical. Okay. Just going to type that. So they're going to give us some, and then we're going to see what the revenue now. Is it the highest or is it the lowest right now, or is it in the middle? Okay. And based on that, we're going to short and buy based on that. Okay, let's continue. I want to find something that is huge. All right. So this is 221. This is 21216. So it did went down. This is a software companies. Okay. Natural shunt. 500, 490. A layer down. This is a natural health and wellness. Inogen 336. 355. A layer down. Peloton. Increase of year over year. Okay. We want to look at the one before. By just, if they don't tell us what happened before, you kind of never know what's going on. So I want to read more about this. Okay. What I'm trying to look for right now, for those who are new, this is a week 4 training. This part of the session, we are looking for companies that are making a lot of money or losing a lot of money. All right. So we are looking for numbers right now. So that's what this part of the session is all about. So cut their profit per share from 8 to 7.2. Slash a full year to be flat. Previously was 123, now flat or fall 1%. Probably gonna short this guy. Fees of revenue decrease. Did you say what's the reason? After growth in its key segment slow in the second quarter. Okay, we probably can short this back when we come back. It's not a lot though. 8 to 7.2. Let's look at these. Ring metal. So now 13.7, previous was 14, a layer down. So potential shorts as well. Uploving 2 and 2.06, a layer down there. Evercommerce, lower end of the guidance range. Another SaaS company getting killed. Trigger, previous was 4, now 436. Okay. Due to additional softness. Expansion strategy. So companies was going down just because they're expanding temporarily. That's fine. Life MD. Funeral going down. A lot of these are potential shorts because a lot of these companies are actually going down. But I'm just going to find one or two from there. Fluence Energy. This also went down. Okay. It's quite a lot here. Maybe we can do this. Narrow. Trying to find something that is obviously down, okay? Usually what we do, we go through at least 5 earnings of the same company and we see a trend that is coming down. And we do it like that. I'm going to give a conclusion at the end later. Reaffirm means it's the same. We don't do things when it's the same. All right. So it's probably around 10 companies to show. We're going to choose 3 of them and just put it on there just for the sake of it. Okay. We're going to find what to buy. What to buy is more nice. It's nicer. So we're just going to put it on here. All right. So that's AIM report. So you have to check tomorrow's report. All right. If it is lower than 38, even lower than 32, then, it's a really good short. For a lot of things, it's just going to come down. So I'm just going to put some name on these that we found that will come down. So this is probably the first one. This is what company? Material company doing this. So you're expecting a loss of 105 while before was just 1,480. So a little more loss. So that's just going to short this as a first one. The company is called, what company is this? The name of this company is called what? Tyson Crop. It's a German company, all right? You can do in your practice account if you are new. So the main reason is just because of a little bit more loss from the loss of AET to a loss of 105. Group sales forecast, yeah, they're all coming down if you really carefully. All right. So that's the first one. The second one that is also showing that everything is coming down. Under Armour is quite cool to short, but let me see. I think it's at the all-time low already. Let's have a look. Under Armour. Okay. So it's almost at the lowest that you've ever seen in your entire lifetime. Yeah, it's a bit low now. So Under Armour is like a channeling situation. It's just from here, to there. Okay. If it is at the top here now, I would have shorted it straight away, usually. Okay. But because it's already spiked down like that, so this could be your first support. There's not much kind of left. But if we go to the guidance, we might be able to see. So let's have a look. Let me ask this. Do the same for Under Armour. I just want to see whether this is the worst earnings we ever got. Do the same for Under Armour. So just now, what we did is, let's see, what we did was Oxford Bio, and the numbers was 12116160200220180. So you can probably say this is the first time they cut their money like that. 180. So the price should be the same as the 23rd of September. Okay. So if the stock right now is higher than 23rd of September, then shorting is fine. But if it is lower than 23rd of September, then there's not much point to short. So let's have a look. Oxford Biomedical. We done it just now. So let's go back there. Do, do, do. 23rd of September, it was just around, where is it? Let's look. Yeah, it's almost very similar price. So it's already lower because what happened here was that at 23rd of September, they are making how much money? Let me show you. They are making the money of, let me see, what? 220, isn't it? Sorry, September 160, okay? Yes, making 160. Let me go back to that and type 160 just there. 160. You see, wow, so my computer went up big time. Do, 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 do. 4 week was also reporting the numbers, momentum. Okay, we're going to add some baby stocks today because there are some companies reporting the numbers today, like CoreWeave, like Momentum, all of that. Okay, let's see. So, yeah, 160. So when 160 is here, and if right now is 180, let me show you the text. This is the revenue now, 180. So the price should be higher. So if I'm going to short this, is really no-brainer. It's like I can't really short because, 180, the price should be higher already. So as short means I'm thinking that it's going to come down here. So it's quite impossible. So that's what happened. So we don't short this, even though the guidance was bad. Because if you look at the 8 earnings, which is the 8 earnings here. So on 23rd of September, they were making 160 mil. Okay. But in the 7th of August, 180 mil. So 180 is higher than 160. So the stock of this is be higher than that. Okay. And as I told you, the principle, you always want to look at the amount, okay? The EPS, the amount, not the chart and stuff like that. And you see how much would you be happy to sell and buy, okay? Which makes sense. If you have a business who are selling at 160, another business selling at 180, obviously the one that selling at 180 will have a higher price than selling at 180 of the revenue, all right? On the same business. So hence we cannot short. But why don't we short this? Because the guidance went down. Because the price was already there, okay? So that's what happened. I would have done the same for Under Armour. I would see what the price is and decide whether it's good to sell or not. Let's see Under Armour. Okay, this is where you link the numbers to the chart, where some really, really top traders and investors do, because no one was going to do that for you. So let's have a look. 140, 140, 110, 90, 30, 20, 185. So, revenue cut, 140. So you went down. So you'll be like, oh, when is it going to come down to yeah, probably still quite high. Okay, still higher than a lot of that. So the price dropped quite a lot already. All right, now, so Under Armour, and then what else? IV Vertical, potentially that's as well. What else we have? Let's see. Peloton, very tempted to short this as well. Even Visa. What else we have? Rain Metal. Maybe we can try this if we can find this Rain Metal. Oh, we found it. Crazy. Yeah. So similar situation there. You'll be like, what's going on here and there? I want to show you Rain Metal. Yeah, the numbers was defense system. Yeah. Okay. This is to do with the war. We don't think the war is gonna end though. July. Okay. So today we have some companies like Lumentum. Lots of students own this guy. So it was a little bit up. Let me see what happened to Lumentum. Not much. You want to look at the latest earnings again to see what happened. It went down a little bit big time and went up a little bit big time, and then now in the middle there. That's okay. Let's look at CrowdStrike. You look at the numbers. CrowdStrike was also okay as well. Okay. No big it's no big numbers going in. This is Live MD 220-205. Florence Energy is quite low already. Kraft Heinz release on the 8th or 5th. Okay. Maybe you can short this because the earnings was lower than a year ago. Okay, let's ask Kraft Heinz. Do the same for Kraft Heinz. So people will be like, oh, how do we make a lot of money? We're gonna look for the guidance actually that increased big time. Yeah. Out of so many numbers that increase big time, as we talked about just now, it's really finding the baby stocks. So where they were not doing anything in the past, like Nvidia was dead like that, we're just going up and down like that. Micron was going up and down. Nvidia was doing this in 2023. Micron was doing this in 2025. SanDisk was doing that in 2025. Credo, all of that was doing that. Okay. And so you want to find something that suddenly they increase big time, because otherwise a lot of them are kind of like slowing down a little bit. So the key is to find something that is the companies, for example, 1 mil, they make 1 million, 1 million, 2 million, 1 million, 2 million, and suddenly they decide to make 4 million or even times two, basically, at least. Wow, that's where really, big money comes. And that's what we saw just now for AEHR system, test system. Okay. And there are some companies that are slow. Yeah. So it's about finding those companies that really went up like that beautifully. And yeah. And for on the apprentices, we use some really powerful strategy to find it. And if we found it, we'll let you know as well. Okay, we call it the top 10 powerful stocks that went up really beautifully. So how do we find them? You can use AI. You can tell AI to describe that situation. How do you describe this situation? I'm going to show you. You describe this situation by telling, give me, the biggest, or top 10 companies with the biggest increase on their latest guidance compared to the previous guidance. Okay. Like AEHR system, you can give some example to them. AEHR system went up probably 80%. Micron went up 50%. Well, SanDisk was also around 50% as well. What else we've got? Credo was a little bit there as well. So you give the numbers and ask them to check if any numbers are better than this. Okay, if any stocks are higher than that. I almost guarantee you're probably not gonna find any. You're not gonna find 1 million of them. You're not gonna find hundreds of them. You're not even gonna find 2 of them. You're not gonna find 3 of them, because the companies that we chose are already at the top. Okay, at the top ranks of because it's the best training in the world. So we found some best kind of companies where went up big time like that. Anyway, so let's look at Kraft Heinz. So whether we can short these guys. So it was very similar. Organic sales was coming down. So organic sales was really bad, but the rest was quite okay. EPS, yeah, 5th of August. Yeah, not too bad. Not like crazily bad. Let's get Kraft Heinz. So that is where it is. All right. So if I see the numbers, to 18, yeah, it can go all the way lower than even 1 to 2 years ago. So where's 1 to 2 years ago? Yeah, it was already quite low. Actually, it can go to a new low. Maybe this guy can come to a new low, which is which is here. Yeah, it may come to a new low. Let me show you why it might do that. So to come to a new low, that means the numbers has to be worse than everything you have seen before. So let's see whether that is the truth. So 2, so yeah, usually it was 2, 2, so 2.5, 2.5, so 3. So yeah, potentially can come to like a new low just because the previous numbers is around higher than that number, unless you get more. Okay, another way to do it is give me the past 10 revenue and earnings of Kraft Heinz as well. Okay, just trying to see. Actually, this is going to show us. Okay, I'm going to show you how to read earnings. Okay, using some powerful way. So what you do, you go to financial, just on the same website on this market screener. For apprentices, you're going to get this for free as well. Usually you have to pay like, easily £20,000 for a lifetime if you're going to use this for a lifetime. Oh, super microcomputer went up big time. So let's have a look on that. But let's go on that. So you can see the revenue right now is 24. Is it the, okay, wait. 24, is it the lowest we ever seen? Let's see. 24 is the lowest net sales. Okay. Yeah, the IB5 is the lowest. Net income is the lowest. Where are we? Okay, we were here. 24, 4, 3, -3. Earnings is getting better though. Net income, -1 is getting better. Change. Okay. So it's not getting worse. 2020, 26. This is just expectation. Okay. This is annual. This is let's look at the income statement a little bit. Okay, if you want the stock to be the lowest, you make sure the numbers is the lowest. Yeah. So let's look at this. 24, is it the lowest? Probably. 8, is it the lowest? There are 8.2 here. So this, okay, it's quite low. 2.8, 2.8, 4.7, is it the lowest? Possibly. 3.9, is it the lowest? Ooh, this one here, 2.21. Okay, because everything is quite low a little bit, so maybe it might come a little bit more down, -5 billion. Okay, let's just short this guy then. Kraft Heinz. Last time I go to PE ratio of Kraft Heinz as well. Let's get historical PE ratio of Kraft Heinz, whatever that is. And let's look at the season of this guy as well. Just to see how is it going to look like for October, and September. Cool. What I'm going to type here, I'm going to type Kraft. I think it's a catch-up company. So, okay, August. So you can see a lot of things are on our site. So that's quite okay. So August was there. So it's okay. September is still here. So you can own this till end of September. All right. You can short this till end of September. So that's what it says there. So what we're going to do after doing all of that, and we're going to be shorting this. Where are we? Where's the company? Okay, let's go to PE. The PE was the lowest, I think. It's already at 10 PE. Okay, let's go way down. Okay, let's go to the past 5 years to see what's going on with this PE a little bit. So the past 5 years to see what is core with backlog hits 100 billion. Result spending remains strong. LITE. Okay, let's go down. I'm going to do 5 years. Let's look at the P of this guy for the past 5 years. Probably negative. Okay, when it's like that, when it's zero, means what? Means company is losing money. All right, so that's fine. That's why the PE is zero. We saw that just now. If you look at the numbers, it says there that where's the numbers? If you look at the numbers that we saw, you saw the net income is -5, -1. Okay, so that means there are. So that's okay. We're going to short it a little bit. Where are we? So let's find that again. Yeah, you can see the numbers. Net income was -5, 5 bill. Okay, EPS was negative. So hence the P is negative. Anyway, so let's go and get the reason. And we take it from there. So let's click news again of this company. And once we've done that, we gonna find what it says here. All right. So just gonna copy and paste this whole thing. So you got the reason. Okay. Actually, we need the guidance, isn't it? So let's see who is going to give us the guidance here. Okay, it's just that. I'm going to copy and paste the whole thing. Oops, oops, oops. How do you do that? Like that. All right, so that's the two companies. And that's the graph. That's the kind of coming down. So this is a shorting. You can do it on your practice. If you are new, a complete beginner, it's better to do your practice. All right, let's talk about what to buy now. All right, buying is a lot easier to make money. This two, the shorting one, you can do it on practicing a little bit. All right, practicing and kind of see how it looks like. So let's talk about buying a little bit. What can we do? So in terms of buying, yeah, it's one of the easiest thing. The problem is, first, our seasonality is kind of like, a bit tricky here. Let me look at what sectors usually do well during this season, okay? As you say, most of the things are coming down, but let's see, Let's see if we have something else. August, how do I do this? Let's see. Okay, let's see. So according to buying, yeah, unfortunately, okay, what we are seeing here is the energy sector always do well during this stage of the economy. But unfortunately, energy sector is very expensive now, all right? Oil is a bit expensive now. And yeah, on the energy sector is at all-time high right now. Otherwise, I would have done it straight away. Okay, I own a lot of energy sectors like Occidental Petroleum and all of that. And that we're almost at the peak there. Okay, depends on the war and stuff like that. So energy sectors can be Chevron, can be Shell, can be BP PLC, can be like all of that. Okay, but a lot of them are actually quite high. And unless you are able to find the guidance, one by one and find some big one, then we might be able to do that. So what else is used to do well? Utilities maybe. So we might be able to do some utilities here. We're just gonna do the whole sector there. And what else do we've got here? Staples and healthcare. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. That's okay. So energy sectors and utilities, probably nothing then. What is consumer staples and healthcare? These are some like consumer staples and healthcare, some like very stable people, like hims and hers, like Pfizer. Let's get how Pfizer is doing. So when you go to the earning guidance later on, and if you found some companies that is doing well and they're on that sector, this is like Pfizer, healthcare, like going up like that, crazy. That could be, but it's the top a little bit just then. Yeah, went down. Okay, so I'm gonna go through very fast, okay, to find some companies that increase their guidance big time. All right, we found some things that's going down, and we didn't find a lot. Okay, it was more than a few weeks ago, but it's still not a lot. So let's find some companies that is increase big time. So we're gonna do companies and what, which is it? Equity and what? Finance and guidance increase. What else? Earning positive, sales positive. All right, let's do these two positives if you want to. What else? Growth, price, margin expansion, sure. Sales growth, sure. Earning growth, all of that. Okay. So there's quite a lot. That's the only problem. Okay. Every minute we have another company that's doing incredibly well. Literally 2 hours. We've gone through so many, we only have done 2 hours. So I need a little bit more screener. Otherwise, it's too much. Okay, let me see what else. India companies could be quite well. Let's look at how India is doing. If they are doing well, we can buy the whole India sector. India index, they already went up big time. Let's look at India. Lots of beautiful India students. Yeah, they're kind of big time up there. Let's look at another India. Called India something. India 30. India 50. Let's see this. Yeah, they also went up big time there. Oh, okay. So it was just right there. And if you can figure out what's the reason, they reach also, let me show you. Okay, we have the support. All right, let's just get into the India, guys. We're gonna do. We might own some Indian stocks because look, if you look at it carefully, Indian stocks right now is selling the same as 25th of Jan. It's like 5 years worth of discount. And if you can figure out what's the reason Indian stock has been coming down for the past 1 year, they might be very good for you. But Indian stocks, essentially, they went up big time. Okay, eventually. Okay. And usually when the S&P 500, when S&P 500 went down, Indian stock went down together. Okay. So if you look at all these, and when it goes up, usually Indian stock also kind of go up together. So Indian stock already started to go up and it went back down. Struggling is here. March went up, then it come back down. Now we're at the top here. Okay, when we're at the support here, will be really nice to be buying them. Okay, India. I'm looking at Indian because there's a lot of companies here 2 hours ago releasing their earnings on Indian stock that is exceeding a lot of things. But let's open one by one right now to see what we can get. Fly Aerospace. I'm gonna open one by one. CoreWeave. Okay, one very big super microcomputer was here. Let's look. CoreWeave was here. Super microcomputer went up big time. Quantum, nickel. Okay, let's see. Fly Arrows, we've done that. Philip next. Super Micro, we've done that. What else? We've got Fireside Insider Soul. CoreWeave, Pixel Silicon Laboratory. You can use AI to ask them to, summarize, to find the biggest ones straight away as well. Super, BNY for Momentum. We've done Lumentum. One of the top stocks in the world. Let's see. eToro. Let's look at eToro as well. Yeah, it's quite a lot. Look, we're going to do so many. It's only around 37 minutes. So we kind of have to find ways to filter super fast. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, there's quite a lot. Because it's earnings season. Usually it's not so much. But because it's the earnings season, it's literally give us so much. Okay. These are all the good news. So you can see companies are making money, doing good news, stock market going higher, because these are the good news. I can only choose some that is making a bit of sense. So a bit too much. So what I'm gonna do an easier way. Go to company calendar. So we're just gonna choose some big one. Okay, C Limited, Lumentum was today, Bianco tomorrow. There's Cisco, quite important. Applied, Brookfield, Medic. This is Simon. Let's go and pass. Friday we got Berkshire. Saturday we got Berkshire. Berkshire buy back their own share at the bottom. Okay, they usually don't buy share, but they buy back their own share. This is a Warren Buffett company. SoftBank, ConocoPhillips, Alliance, OCBC, State Bank of India. Let's see. So Wednesday, Eli Lilly was coming quite nice. Sundays, we did it. This was last Wednesday. Novo, Western Digital. I think both of these are slowing down. AMD also slowed down. We done it last week. SpaceX. People often ask me, when can I buy SpaceX? Okay, some people already own it. That's fine. You want to sell the profit. But if you haven't gone into SpaceX yet, when is a good time to buy SpaceX? We might be able to go into that a little bit later. But it's basically half the price, okay, of I'll show you kind of later on. But anyway, so let's see what is doing really well and what can we buy. This is space and defense. This is okay. 28. Let's see the before and after. CoreWeave. up another billion from a year ago. CoreWeave is a cloud structure company. Might be able to come back to this. Super microcomputer. Expect what? 65 billion. But we need to know what happened before. This is to do with IT. Just done that. CoreWeave. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to find some companies that increase money big time. To see if we can buy them. Let's see. Full expect 14. So we want to know the numbers, before and after. Okay, let's use AI to help us. So let's start. Give me the past 6 most recent earning guidance of, let's go super microcomputer first, okay? Including today earnings. Let's go one by one. We're going to do Momentum. We're going to do CoreWeave. We're going to do super microcomputer. These are some powerful stocks. So let's see. Silicon Laboratory, Lumentum. You didn't really see what happened before. Fabrinet. I want to see before and after. eToro. Let's see what's a good price to buy eToro. So if you bought eToro in April 2, it went to 50%. Wow, eToro is like this, just go down only. That's crazy. Now, let's have a look. Silicon. What? This is eToro. What else? Kroger. Kroger is like a food company, food product distribution company. I want to see the numbers, no numbers, no numbers. So it's a bit tricky. Intel CEO sought US approval to sell their stocks. Nothing going on. Nothing going on. Zoom. Partner with Microsoft. Berkshire. That's fine. Overseas OCBC. Okay. Now Singaporean stocks has actually been doing crazy. Okay. Let me show you some companies, some stocks from different countries. All right, one by one. Singapore blue chip, it's been going from 4 to 5, a little bit there. Let's see. From 4 to 5 like that. Okay. Netherlands, let's look at beautiful Netherlands. Lots of students from Netherlands. Let's see, it's from 9 to around 11 there. Let's go our UK, our FTSE 250. Very similar, was also from here to there. Okay. Yeah. And the reason why is because if you look at the PE ratio of all countries, you can see or you can tell that so the cheap one, still cheap one was like India because it went down quite a lot. Was still quite fair, was like a bit of euro, here. Let's see. Okay. United States has been selling around overvalue, was selling around 27, very expensive. Taiwan, because of Taiwan semiconductors, it went up big time. And how can I arrange it based on how expensive it is? Oh yeah. So yeah, Singapore went up a little bit. Where's the US? Overvalue, yeah. Brazil a bit higher, Hong Kong, United States, Germany, Norway, Greece, yes, a bit high. And what else have you have? So you got UK. Now we don't just look at that, we look at the whole historically, how it looks like, okay? So let's look at historically. Taiwan, Switzerland, Germany, Australia, United States. Yeah, United States was up there. Let's see. So the one that's quite cheap, all right? That's quite at the low. We don't just want to buy cheap ones, but those are quite low. If you see it at selling at the historical lowest PE, are like, let's see. Let me see. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna use the equity clock, okay, which is a lot better to tell us what is what are they gonna do in this stage of the economy now. Okay, let's start India first. All right, we're gonna do one by one, just to see which companies is gonna do well during the next crazy stage of the economy that we are on right now, which is where we are. So August, India was quite okay. September was quite okay, but not sure how reliable this is. So we have two. FTSE India ETF. This is from what date? 7 year. This one, 15 year. iShare India seasonality. August coming down all the way till the end of August. Okay. So telling us to buy India at the support. August was coming down. Okay, that's for India. So what I'm trying to say is, okay, well, let's get France. How's France doing? Trying to find any support. It's also all-time high. Everything's at all-time high, guys. So you can see, things are almost about to do a correction because almost everything you saw, the whole world, on the whole country was at all-time high. Literally, France was like that, UK was like that, even South Africa. Let's have a look. South Africa was like, okay, it's just in the middle there. And what's the emerging markets? Emerging market was quite okay. What else we've got? Netherlands. Someone spoke about this a little bit. It was also quite high. Middle, not as high. What was this? What about FTSE 100? The UK, yeah, it's the all-time high here. So if you look at it, a lot of things are like all-time high, and it's not always like that, especially for, okay, yeah, it's literally all-time high like that. Wow. Okay. Cool. Let me just type something into AI right now. Okay. Which country index, is having, high growth rate and selling at historical near PE ratio. Let's have a look. That's what I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find which countries are growing, they're doing really well, but they're selling it cheap. So not cheap. I would say the lowest historical PE ratio. Just have a look here. So according to that, so far what I saw is just a little of India. This is still at the bottom. A little bit of China there, but because of political issues, if it comes down even more, we're gonna get in there. India, China, what else? Peru, New Zealand, Norway, Belgium. Well, Netherlands was also quite expensive there. Okay, yeah. A lot of things are quite expensive there. Usually it's not like that. Usually they are all fair value, but because market has been, doing really well. So that is kind of what happened then. Cool. So let's come back to where we are right now. Yeah, we're just looking at OCBC. This is one of the Singapore stocks. This is just the India Bank. It's going high there. Eli Lilly. Okay, Sundays. Okay, SpaceX. Awesome. Let's talk about conclusion now. So buy, if you ask me what to buy, there are just a few things to buy. We will still be buying utilities, okay, ETF. Okay, you can do around £20 on those. All right, we're still going to be buying utilities ETF just because of close to support. So that's just kind of what happened. In terms of buying an individual stocks, okay, let me see if we can find any stocks that is near our support line just right there. Just give me a minute. Nvidia. Let me just look at Nvidia. Yeah, Nvidia was also very top now. Okay, we look at crowd. CoreWeave. Let's look at CoreWeave. If this CoreWeave is good, we're gonna get into it. Because today CoreWeave released their earnings, okay? So we're gonna do CoreWeave, guys. So give me the past 5 most recent earning guidance of CoreWeave. What is it? Japan. So even AI was giving us the name of India. India was there. And Taiwan is not there. Forward PE below my ranking. South Korea. South Korea is definitely quite cheap because they just have a crash. Japan and India. Slightly below, above historical, below historical average, slightly around slightly above historical, no, slightly above, well below 10x historical age. Let's go to South Korea. What's going on here? Okay, let's get South Korea. Maybe that's what we're gonna do. Well, will it continue to come down? Yes, it will, but we're gonna do it. Okay. Now this is a bit, you have to wait for a bit. Eventually you're gonna go to where you want. We're gonna do another £10 on South Korea ETF. Just because it's been crashing big time. And given that Samsung is gonna still do well and stuff like that, if the guidance of Samsung, guidance of XK Hynix, guidance of Taiwan Semiconductor, still do well, then this will be fine. Another 10 quick just on India ETF. Yes, beautiful India. Now, India, we want to wait for the support a little bit there, but we're not going to wait. When it comes down, we're just going to get it a little bit more, all right? Because if you look at India, okay, if you look at India, you'll be like, you wait for the support there, things like it's going to come there. But we're not going to wait. We're going to put a little bit here, wait for it to come back down, and then we're going to put a lot more there as well, all right? Just to get things going. And obviously, we're not going to forget about, let's go GBP against. So pound sterling was at a high right now. Wow. Okay, let me convert our what for a second. Let's go to GBP against USD. Let's see how pound is gonna do for the next few months. So according to what we see here, pound might get a little bit weaker. So because of that, we're just gonna add a little bit more. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a little bit more. Okay, just a 20 quid on VUAA. Okay. Why? Because that means that we can release our pound, we can reduce our pound because pound looks like it might get weaker from what we see here. Pound sterling, so from August time, get weaker a little bit all the way to October. That's what the pound is more likely gonna do, and US dollar might get stronger. So that's what it says kind of here. Now, some people are interested to trade Forex. We also teach you how to trade Forex on the apprenticeship training because we want to let you learn how to do it. So, but I'm going to show you a little bit here, okay? Very quick, how to trade Forex the right way, the powerful way like you never seen before. The way to trade Forex is you just have to pick the top and pick the bottom. But there's another way. Which is on here as well. We're just going to the IG sentiment report. I'll remove all of this now. Let's see if we can do some Forex pair. Okay. So what we do usually, we open all of that, guys. It's crazy, but we're opening all of this. Okay, we open all of this. For those who are new, I'm going to show you how to trade Forex. It's a bit higher level. Okay, this is pattern recognition. It's about you seeing a pattern. All right, about you seeing a pattern. So let's get GBP against US dollar first. What's this? Okay, so GBP against US dollar is quite at the high point. It might go even higher, but we are quite high there. Okay, it might go even higher than that. But let's get Euro, GBP against Euro. Lots of beautiful Euro students here. So yeah, it was also quite there. Okay. Yeah, it was also quite on the slightly middle zone. If it is top, then it's very easy to make money. You can short it straight away if it's at the top. Now it's in the middle. It's not high, not low. What about AUD against NZD, which is Australian New Zealand dollar? Okay, nothing going on there. It's just there. Okay, that's it. Not much. Because usually I will aim for the top and bottom, and there's not much at top and bottom. A lot of things are in the middle. If you are trying to do Forex when things are in the middle, it's quite tricky. So that's it. Not gonna confirm with that. Okay. So there we go. That's the bottom line. That's fine. More about that. Okay, for those who are interested, let me show you. GBP against US dollar. Look, whenever we are at the top here, okay, whenever we are at the top here, usually you good time to buy. Can you see? The blue line is usually you buy. This GBP went up. So we need more, but yeah, around here at that time almost crashed. It went up a little bit. A little high here, but not the highest. It went up. So whenever we are at the bottom here, you can see GBP went down. So whenever we are at the bottom here, GBP tends to go down. So hence we're doing VUAA because pound might go down. So if pound is gonna go down, that means buying other currencies is quite nice. So that's what happened. So VUAA is it's just another currency. So that's what happened. Try these two on your practice account. If you are new, okay. And yeah, and do this on there as well. Very excited for our apprentices because of our apprentices, we have a totally different things. Okay. You want to set up your calculator, getting ready for the money-making opportunity. You can see we are on another stage of economy right now where we have this very beautiful already. Let's go through this. Okay, let's get a call with. So now we are almost reaching this stage of the economy a little bit. almost there. Okay, it's just one company releasing the earnings that's bad. That's it. So we're just waiting for that. But let's look at CoreWeave. Give me the past 6 most recent earning guidance of CoreWeave. Oh, I also want to talk about right now, the administration, okay, the government are really into magnets, okay, magnets, and another one is fighting, okay. Like it will be a war. So a lot of your like war companies like Lockheed Martin and all of that, they are still okay and fine. Yeah, but probably gonna be crazy. Yeah, those war companies, and so magnets as well because of, let's see, some of the very popular magnet companies, MP Material. Okay, is MP Material. So for this particular one, we're just gonna get in when it is like at our support zone, which is usually around from here to here. Okay, we're gonna sell this at our resistance zone here, which is from here to here. So that's where we will be selling. So let's look at the season of this. For give me a minute. I'm gonna look at what's gonna do in August. Do, 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 do. So in August, unfortunately, let's see. So June, July, August, okay, that's in the beginning. We have a spike there. So we might see a pullback. The pullback coming in give you another spike in October time. So that just means that if I'm going to translate into this, maybe we might have a tip, just here, and then you're going to pull back to below 5. Write that down. You can get into MP material when it's below 5. All right? MP material kind of below 5. But the good news is for apprentices, we're not going to do any of that. We're going to do some powerful one, make big money in a very short time frame. You can start with very small capital, 250 pounds, and start with small capital when the time is really, really right and doing that. All right. So well done. So that's the conclusion. Take a screenshot of a watch list. This is every week we give some watch list kind of here. But for apprentices, we have some different ones, especially when the time is there. So yeah, that's what happened then. All of this will be red. Oh, what about all of this will going to be red because we are coming to a season of coming down. So I'm buying some guarantee winning one. Yes, it will be red. I'm doing some guarantee winning one. All of these are guarantee winning. I'm doing some guarantee winning one. Even though it might be red initially, but that's fine. Just because things are supposed to come down during extreme greed time, then we can sell some. All right. So hope you learned something new today because we are coming to a new stage. So just very excited for apprentices right now. So cannot be more excited. So let me read. Is that the same as emerging markets? Some of them are the same, so that's fine. Hi, why VUAA when the season show GBP to drop? Could you explain the reason? Because if you buy VUAA, you are converting your money into dollar. So you're holding dollar. Okay, so that's fine. Lottie say thanks. Supermicro has very good result. Okay, let's look at Wave and Supermicro. So no guidance being delivered on the live call. So we're waiting for the live call for CoreWeave. So that's fine. So apprentices will know exactly what to look for, how to make big money on one. Another one is Super Microcomputer. Awesome. What else do we have? Can we look at ExxonMobil? Okay, I'm going to tell you something about ExxonMobil. All of these beautiful stocks, they are almost at the peak already. Okay, it's very dangerous to get into them. I'm actually offloading a lot of these beautiful stock. ExxonMobil. Let me show you. ExxonMobil, all of that are oil energy companies. So, okay, this is Exxon. Let me look at Oxy and Chevron. They're the same usually. August. Ooh, it can be the bottom there. Wow, that's crazy. And like Chevron, it's like that. We might buy some energy stocks. Wow, it's actually the bottom, guys. Let's get energy sector. Oh wow, it's like here, but we are at all-time high though. All right, because we look at energy stocks, they are like that because of doing that. So we're gonna get into energy stocks as well. Energy stock is very crazy right now. It's at all-time high right now. Let me show you. Yeah, it's almost at the highest as we ever seen in our entire lifetime. So it's really brave wanting it to go even higher. Oh my God. Let me see. That is next level. Last year, August, let's see what happened. It's the middle here. You went to the resistance line and then it just went back down like that. Let me look at another energy stock. Yeah, they're all reaching resistance line here. Let me see if last year, the same date, did they break out our resistance? So it's just here, August was here and it went up there. Very similar, actually. Every year was like that. This is August 13, 14 there. It went up a little bit, like to the resistance line. Let's go the year before. August a little bit there and then went back down. That's fine. So it depends on the war. If the war finishes, this come down. The war doesn't finish, this goes up. So we're not gonna play, we're not gonna not sleep because of what Trump says. Okay, we're not gonna do that. Okay, so because of that, we're not gonna get involved in this. But if you want to short oil, the time to short oil is above. Let me see. Let me get crude oil. Cool. The time to short oil when it's above 9K, I would say. Okay, above 9K a little bit. It can go even higher. Let me see whether it's a chance to go even higher or not. So let's type crude oil on here. Because energy sector all depends on one thing, crude oil. If oil goes up, this guy goes up. If oil comes down, this guy is going to come down. As simple as that. Where's my oil? Okay. So oil, like usually the end of the week and then end of the week you short that. Okay. That's what happened. But with our oil, honestly, guys, it's the hormones, it's the C and all of that. So we're not going to play that game because it's almost of the C. What we can do, we can wait for it to come to the price that we want. Okay. A low price to buy oil is around 7. A nice price to sell oil is around 9. Anything in the middle, you are gambling. Okay. So that's what happened. Awesome. That is kind of what happened. Lord is saying, thank you. You're welcome. So hope you learned something new. And remember tomorrow, check the AAII report. If these report are really giving us what number? Lower than 38, then maybe stocks gonna come down because people are very bullish about the market. But if tomorrow the report are okay, not too bad, so then you can, continue. Awesome. We've got Rick in here. We've got Ajo, made it well done. We have Alistair. Really nice to see you, Alistair. We have Amin. We have Barry, Bobby, Bruno. Yeah, we are doubling the investment for our apprenticeship training because we're coming to a new stage, new demand, new success. So if you haven't got accepted yet, settle everything so we can get you fully started. All right. Well done, and I will see you very, very soon. To book a call, you can just text me and we take it from there. Leopold, we have Mickey, Muhammad, Neil, Nora, nice to see you. How have you been? We have Paul, we have Rob, we have Richard, we have Sanjay. Zati, how are you? Zati was not sleeping, guys. You're welcome. We have Ariel from Kim Porter. Awesome. Yeah, thank you very much. Awesome. Speak to you guys very soon. Really nice to see you. At what resistance should we short time short life? Yeah, let's see the numbers for the AIA report. For those who are new, you can do in your practice account. You can see what we go. The live, this is the live account. Okay, the buy you can do on the live, the trading 212 ISA. This is you can do on the practice account if you are kind of new. All right. Awesome. Have a good evening, and I cannot wait to see you. For apprentices, we're going to book. Yeah, just so ready. So speak to you guys very, very, very soon. You're welcome, Inga, with Ajo. We have Nora, we have Carlo, we have Sean. Is it a good night or do we wait? Yes, Sean, we are gonna wait for AHR. We're gonna wait for you to come back below 8K. Okay. Awesome. For apprentices, we have a very special calculator. You can use that as well, where we do a lot of work for you. Speak soon. They cannot be excited for our elite Zati and Inga. Speak to you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.